Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sasi Prasad and I'm a technical architect in Salesforce Marketing Cloud. Today in this session, we'll be discussing Automation Studio and its use cases. We'll mainly focus on query activities and understand what query activities are and why we use query activity in Marketing Cloud. We use query activity basically to retrieve and perform segmentation operation. We perform our query activity operations mainly on data views and data extensions. Marketing Cloud gives us an option to choose data action when we are performing query activity. They are namely append, update, and override. When we select append, it adds new records to the target data extension without modifying the existing records. When we select update, it involves modifying the existing record, and if there are new records, it will be added to the data extension. If you are performing override, it completely replaces the existing data with the new data. Talking about the data actions, the performance of append, update, and overrides depends on various factors such as the volume of the data, the complexity of the query, and the structure of the data extension. You need to plan and design your data structures and your query operations based on your specific use cases. You should also perform testing on those queries before implementing it in the production environment. And in this session, we'll mainly focus on the data structure, the query operations, and the data actions. So let us now directly jump into our Salesforce Marketing Cloud instance and see this in action. This is my Salesforce Marketing Cloud instance, and here I have a data extension called Customer Profile, which currently has 4,000 records. In this data extension, we don't have any primary key, and let us assume this Customer Profile data extension records are added from different external sources. I have created another data extension called Customer Profile Non-Indexing, and this is the replica of the Customer Profile data extension. We have the same data attributes, and here we have 352K records. Next, I created another data extension called Customer Profile Indexing, and here in this data extension I have made email address as the primary key for indexing purposes. But here in this particular data extension you have 0 records. I also created another data extension called Customer Profile Update, and here I have 2,752 records, which is the replica of the Customer Profile Indexing data extension. Now I'll show you the differences between this data, why we have 2,752 records in the Customer Profile Update, why we have 0 records in the Customer Profile Indexing, why we have 352K records in our non-indexing. We'll demystify this solution. This is my non-indexing SQL query where I'm performing select operation on the customer profile where the email address is null. Here my data action is append and the target data extension is Customer Profile Non-Indexing. Let's go to the action log and you see there is no error. So the number of times I have executed this query, it fetches all the records from the customer profile and adds it to the non-indexing data extension. Moving to append indexing SQL query, I have written the similar query here with the similar select operation from the customer profile and with the same filter condition where email is not null. The data extension is same and the target data extension is customer profile indexing. Whenever I execute this query operation, it fails. Let me show you the action log. So this query operation fails every time because of primary key violation. And whenever there is a fail operation, the action log tabs logs all the failures, but not the successes. So that's the reason why in your indexing data extension, you have 0 records. Moving on, I have another query activity. Here, I'm doing an update operation to a data extension customer profile update. Here in this query, I have leveraged row number function to partition the email order by the first name, and I am retrieving only the records where the row number is 1. So in the action log, we don't have any failures. That's why we have 2052 records in this customer profile update, which are unique. If you're curious to know why we have 352K records in the customer profile non-indexing, let's go to our automation. So under the basic folder, I have an automation called Append data, which has executed more than 44 times. And I have leveraged the same query, append non-indexing, multiple times in this automation. So whenever this particular query gets executed, it adds 4,000 records into the customer profile non-indexing. I also have another automation where I had tried to execute this append indexing query multiple times, but every time this query operation gets executed, it lands into failure because of primary key constraint. That's why we have 0 records. And then I have another automation called update data automation, where I have leveraged update customer profile multiple times into this automation at different steps. If you're curious about knowing why this automation is getting skipped multiple times, and if you want to know more about automation and its nitty-gritties, we'll explain in some another session. Today in this session, we are focusing mainly on indexing, non-indexing, data extension structure, and the query operations. So to recap the session, whenever you want to perform segmentation or retrieval of data from a previously established data, you need to have a proper understanding of the data actions that you're selecting while writing a query. You need to have a proper understanding of what select statement that you're writing, and the most important and the vital thing to keep in mind is your target data extension data structure. You should have a clear understanding of what is indexing and what is non-indexing in your data extension. That's it for today. See you in another session. Bye.